What's up, guys? Welcome to Gameweek FC. This is our official first time doing this, first time with this YouTube channel, first post. My name is Travis. This is my brother Parker.
What's going on, guys?
Guys, we're super excited about this Premier League season, and we're stoked to talk to you guys about everything that's involved in FPL, transfers, all the analytics that go into the EPL season, the ups and downs, everything. We're going to be here with you guys, and we're going to help you guys out and give you guys our predictions. So without further ado, the first thing we're going to talk about in this video is our predictions for every single rank in the EPL table. Okay, starting from last place all the way up to champion. We're going to give you guys our predictions for who is going to be at the top and who's going to be at the bottom and who's going to be in the middle. So, Parker, would you like to start us out with your predictions?
I would love to. And, starting from the bottom here, there's not going to be many surprises. The last, I think it's 5+ years, the three teams that have come up have gone right back down. And I know that Sunderland has spent a ton of money. As of today, August 6th, they are the 7th highest spending team in all of Europe. Now, you can say what you will about the money available in the Premier League, but I don't think it matters. Sunderland will flop. They're going down. But I don't have them dead last. I have them 19th, so I technically did not start at the bottom. Burnley is going to be last. I think they have a similar season to Southampton last year. I think they will be abysmal defensively. So I got Burnley at 20, Sunderland at 19, and then as much as I love Leeds United, I've got them going down just narrowly. I think it's kind of a battle between them and my 17th and 16th positions. So Leeds, Sunderland, Burnley go down. Just escaping relegation, I have Wolves. I think them losing Cunha is going to be it's going to be too big of shoes to fill for those guys. I do like John Arias. I think he's going to be a great Premier League player, but I don't think that they do any better than they did last year. So I've got Wolves at 17. Go ahead.
Before you get to 16, just so you're not talking like for the entire way so people don't get bored, I'm going to give my same rankings for.
Okay. All right.
You stopped at 17, correct? 16?
Yeah, I stopped at 17.
Okay. So, last place for me, I have Burnley last place. They just always kind of disappoint, in my opinion. I think they have a decent defense, but I don't think they have enough in the attack to stay up, and I think that's what's going to be their downfall.
They're your typical yo-yo team.
Yeah. So, in 19th place, this is going to be a shocker for many, but I have Brentford in 19th place. This is one of my shockers of the season. I think Brentford, think about it. They lose their manager. They lose arguably their best player in BMO. They lose their starting CDM, who had the most tackles, pretty much defensive contributions in the midfield for them. I just think it's going to really hurt them, and they're going to struggle, and I think they either get relegated or they just stay up. But in my prediction, I have them at 19th place.
So
And
real quick on Brentford, because we, for all the viewers, we did not discuss this prior to this video. So I am also betting on Brentford to have a terrible season because of everything you just mentioned. I just have them just just not getting relegated. But sorry, continue.
yes, and also just we don't know if Wissa is staying, so that's a whole nother thing. But if he goes, yeah, they're cooked. 18th, I have Sunderland. I think they've made some pretty good signings. Somehow they got Granit Xhaka. I have no idea how that worked out, but Xhaka's a great player, great leader. I think he can, help the Sunderland team to not get last place. But I do think they get relegated, unfortunately. And then in 17th place, I have Wolves just once again just barely scraping past relegation. Everybody wants Wolves to fail, I feel like, but I think they find a way to stay up again.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so we matched up exactly on 20 and 17 and had three of the same bottom four.
Pretty much. Yeah, so very interesting. Those are our bottom four. More importantly, bottom three. But you can go from 16 to 13.
16 to 13. All right. I've got Everton at 16.
Mm.
I think Wolves, Everton, and my 15th place is Brentford. I think that them three and Leeds are all kind of just battling it out for who finishes in that last relegation spot. For everything you just mentioned, Brentford, they lost too many key pieces to put together a productive season, in my opinion. And um, I know that they are a very well-run club, and they do things in a very data-driven way. So I guess at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they did bounce back. We've seen Brighton sell for many years now, and they have been able to recoup and rebound extremely well. Brentford has a similar model, so maybe we shouldn't be that surprised if they do bounce back and have a decent year and do well with some of their transfer business. But it's such an unknown, and we know that transfers can be such a gamble. So for that reason, they're my 15th spot. Everton, brand new stadium. I want them to succeed, but I think that they continue to struggle. Moving on to 14, I've got Crystal Palace. I think that this is kind of dependent on Eberechi Eze leaving. I think if he stays, there could be a few more spots higher. But as I see it, I think he goes, and Palace suffer. And then 13th, I've got West Ham United, which may not be all that much of a surprise. But middle of the pack, I think they struggle. David Moyes, I mean, you can say what you want about him. He's probably on his last leg. I think after this contract with West Ham, he's probably done. And quite frankly, I'm wondering how much his head is actually still in it.
Wait, did you say Moyes?
Yeah,
West Ham have Graham Potter.
Potter. That's right. Moyes. I'm sorry. You're right. Potter. Doesn't matter. They're still 13th.
Oh, okay. So
Good. Way to check me.
yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter anyways, but um, so West Ham, you have West Ham in 13th. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically that sums up this whole section from 16 to 13. Doesn't matter. Um, but in 16th place, I have Leeds United. I think if any of the upgraded teams or promoted teams this season are going to have a good season, I think it's going to be Leeds. I feel like they're the most well put together team, maybe. So I think Leeds 16th. I think they stay up. 15th place, I have Nottingham Forest. But I'm kind of regretting that decision a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'll have more to say on that at a later point.
Yeah, I guess I'll say Nottingham Forest. I still think they have. I mean, they have most of their pieces back again this season. So
They do. They only lost Alonga.
okay, I'm gonna bump them up to
Ooh,
10th place. I'm gonna bump them up to 10th place. Okay,
wow.
and in 15th place, I'm gonna have West Ham United. I think they do have a better season this year. I think their team's actually pretty solid. I like Graham Potter as a coach a lot. But I still think they're a little ways away from, really competing to be in the top 10. Okay, that really just threw my whole list in a blender. But yeah, so West Ham 15th, Everton 14th. They're just, average, but they're not gonna get relegated. And then 13th, I have Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are going to struggle this season. They lost Dean Hoysen.
They lost their entire back line.
Yeah, they pretty much lost whole defense.
Like
So
I think every single one except they kept one of their outside backs. I'm blanking on the name, but still,
Senezi, whatever. Either way, like their back line's not going to be anything like it was last season. And unfortunately, they have a really good midfield and attack, but it's just not going to. You got to have a solid defense because attack starts from the back. And I think it's just going to be a disjointed season. From preseason already this summer, like they haven't been playing very well. So I don't think it's going to be a good season for Bournemouth this year, even though they did really well last season. So I have them at 13th, and I will pass the torch to you to go from 12, 11, 10, and 9.
all right. So my 12 is Bournemouth. So pretty much tit for tat there. Don't need to go over that one too much more. 11, I've got Fulham. Your classic mid-table side, they will pick up points against some of the big boys, but they're also going to drop points against, your Sunderlands. So for that reason, they don't quite get into the top half of the table. So I've got them at 11. And then your last minute change for Forest to 10th is exactly where I had them. Got them sitting at 10. I do have more to say on them, again, at a later point in this video, and you'll understand why later. But I'll leave that one be. 9, I've got Brighton. I want to put them higher, but I just couldn't put them over some of the other big dogs.
Yeah.
Especially if they lose Baleba, then they could be in free fall.
Where is he? Who's looking at him?
I've seen Manchester United links.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to say so number 12 for me. I have um, I have Crystal Palace, though I do like. I mean, once again, like Forest, they've kept their pieces. They've kept Eze, and like they really haven't lost anybody. So it's hard to see them like this year is so tough. Like all these teams are solid. It's hard to separate them. Um, in 11th, I have Fulham. Um,
And
they've
so
had a
we
really good preseason. Yeah, they've had a really good
matched up there again.
preseason. Last year's underlying metrics for them, they created a lot of chances. They just couldn't find the back of the net. So um, I think they have a pretty good season, but it's still just mid table for them. Obviously, 10th, I have Forest. I just think they're going to play the same way this season. As long as they have a decent replacement for Anthony Elanga, I think it's going to be. They're still going to have a quote unquote solid season, just not as clinical as they were last year. So yeah, them at 10th and then 9th, I have Brighton. I have Brighton in 9th. You know, they just they always find a way into the top 10. So they have a good young team. So I have them at 9th. So you go on.
So we've got 11, 10, and 9, all the same exact order.
Yeah. I mean, just
All right,
tomatoes,
so
tomatoes.
are we
Thank you.
going 8 to 5?
Yes. Go to 8 through 5.
All right, 8. I've got Aston Villa, and I think they struggle a little bit more this year than they did last year. Obviously, last year they were kind of vying for that fifth Champions League spot that we saw last year with the whole European coefficient deal. I think that there's been a lot of speculation around them and their roster this year. I think Unai Emery is a fantastic coach, but I wouldn't be surprised if a piece or two leaves. From what I've heard, it sounds like they've got some PSR issues. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had to sell a Morgan Rogers or Jacob Ramsey type of piece, or even Ollie Watkins. So we'll kind of see how the rest of the window pans out for them. But I've got them. I've got them 8th. 7th, I have Newcastle United. They have been rejected as of today by Benjamin Sesko. So the hunt for a striker goes on. But I think that their midfield is second probably only to Liverpool. And I think that midfield powers them into this top 8. So I've got them finishing 7th. 6th, I've got Spurs. I think that Thomas Frank will make this Tottenham team a lot more defensively compact, I should say. I think that while Sonny was and is a Tottenham legend and provided much for them going forward, I think that his legs were starting to go towards the end of the year, and I think that was very evident. And I think Ange Postecoglou had a sort of blind trust with Son, and I think that kind of let them down a little bit. So I think they will bounce back offensively. I'm hoping that Frank unlocks Mateus Tell this summer or this upcoming season as well. I like the Kudu signing, but I've got Spurs finishing 6th, and that leaves Manchester United in 5th for me. I think this is the year we start to see the United revitalization project being actually taking place. We've heard about it for years. Managers have come, tried, and failed. I do like Ruben Amorim. I think that he is changing the culture at Manchester United. Um, I think that I think that they have a strong push towards the end of the season. I think they kind of flow between 5 and 8, maybe 4 and 8 all year, and then finish a respectable fifth, which for them these days is a pretty good season. They'll be playing Europa League football next year.
All right, that's good stuff. Um, I agree. Aston Villa in eighth, Newcastle in seventh. I think both of those teams regress this year. I was tempted to put Newcastle at nine. I just think there's a lot of negativity with them right now.
Yeah,
But
agree.
then again, Isak stays. That changes everything. Um,
Does it?
I think it. I mean, it changes it for the better. I mean, I was tempted to put him all the way at 10th or 11th.
I
But
think. Hold on. We need to discuss this because if Isak stays and you think it's a positive thing,
hold on, we don't have that much time left to talk about it.
okay. Just real quick. I think it's a negative impact on the locker room. He's already having to train by himself. He's already said that he wants to leave the club. Not a good thing. Nobody's gonna want him there in the locker room.
Okay, well, I'll flip that. I'm gonna go Newcastle ninth or Newcastle eighth, and then uh, Aston Villa seventh. Sixth, I'm gonna go with Man United. Fifth, I'm gonna go with Tottenham. Um, I just think I agree with you. I think Man United are going to have a much better season. I still don't trust their defense. Their attack is going to be exciting this year, but I still don't. If you have Harry Maguire in your team, I just can't see you getting top four, top five. Um, I love what Tottenham have done so far in the transfer season. I see all the pieces coming together for Tottenham right now. I think they're going to have a very good season. I was tempted to put them in the top four.
Ooh.
So yeah, like you said, defensively, I think they're going to be so much better, and I think that's already evident in preseason. They beat Arsenal 1-0, so I like them a lot. Let's hear your top four.
All right, so I'm gonna just lob this out there. What if we just did third and fourth, and then we volleyed back and forth on first and second?
That's fine with me. Do it.
All right. Well, first of all, it's funny that we have the same four. It's just what order. I feel like we're both gonna have Chelsea at four. I've got Chelsea at four. The world champions, or whatever you think about the Club World Cup, Chelsea won it, and they finished fourth. I like what they've done in the transfer window, albeit they've signed 49 players since this whole Todd Bowley regime took over. It's an insane strategy, but maybe we're starting to see it kind of work. Maybe. So we'll see what happens. But I think they squeak in. I don't think that they're really challenging for the title. I think that there's going to be a significant gap between the top three and Chelsea. And third, I've got Liverpool. The reigning champions fall short, and I will throw it back to you for your third and
Fascinating.
fourth.
Well, you and I have very different opinions on Chelsea, I will say. But
Okay.
my number four is going to be Arsenal. My number three,
Oh,
my number
wow.
three is going to be Liverpool. Um, I just
Wow.
not taking too much away from preseason, but I'm looking at preseason. They've lost their past two games. I just I don't know. It seems like the last 2 years they've given so much effort to try to get to win the league, and they've failed. And I think that takes a lot out of you, um, emotionally and physically, and I think it's going to show this season. I don't think, no offense, Gyökeres, new signing striker, he might not be as productive as people think in the Premier League. So have him at four, and then Liverpool third. I don't think they're going to replicate it this season. Losing pieces, they're not going to be the same team. It's going to take them time to gel. I could see them having a slow start. They've got some tough fixtures, so I have them at third.
Yeah, I think there's just way too much hype around Liverpool right now. Kind of same thing that happened to Real Madrid last year. Incredible window, bringing in the best player in the world and killing Mbappe, and then we couldn't figure it out. I say we. I'm a Real Madrid fan, everybody, so I'm allowed to say we. Anyway, my top two. I've got the Citizens of Manchester finishing second, very close behind the champions, the Gooners, Arsenal. Mikel Arteta gets it done. Victor Gyökeres is the missing piece. He is an absolute menace in the box. He battles Holland for top goal scorer. And Arsenal finally win the Premier League and get over the line. I think they win it with 3 games to go.
Wow, that's thrilling.
Back to you.
Well, we have very different top four, same teams but very different. Um, Number two, I have Chelsea. I just think, and then number one, obviously, I have Manchester City winning the league. I think this is, I think this is Pep Guardiola's redemption year. We all know he comes back. Holland's going to be healthy this season. They have enough new pieces to not make it a whole different style of play. I think they have the depth this season. I think they have what it takes to win the league, but just by a hair, I think. I think honestly the top four going to be pretty close, I think. A lot closer than last season. So, and then Chelsea second place. I just think, I don't know, like they have the depth. They have so much depth and talent. And last season, honestly, they were kind of just throwing pieces together and making it work. But I rate Maresca very highly as a coach. The fact that last season he was able to get them into the top four, despite all the different pieces that they had, I think it shows a lot. And I just think it's going to be a battle between the two Spanish coaches, not including
Because that
Arteta.
matches up with me.
I think Maresca is a better coach than Arteta, but I think
Maresca's Italian, by the way. So there's my opportunity to check you. You checked me
wow.
on
Are you
David
serious?
Moyes. I get to check you on Enzo Maresca.
Is
Doesn't
he
even
actually?
sound Spanish.
No, he's not. He has to be Spanish.
Look it up in your free time.
Okay, I don't have
But
time.
I'm right.
Anyways, okay, my fault. Yep, you got you got me that time. We both had mistakes this video, and probably will continue to. But yes, I have Maresca, the supposedly Italian. I'm sure he's got some Spanish in his blood too, but it's whatever. I have them at number 2 and Man City at number 1.
All right, so there is our early August Premier League predictions. Maybe we can revisit them around Christmas and then obviously at the conclusion of the season. Now, before we wrap up, I've got 4 additional questions that I would like to throw out to both of us. One being, who finishes as top goal scorer in the Premier League this season?
Okay. Tell us all 4 questions because I want to keep this a little
Okay.
this section a little brief, but
all right. So all right. We'll go through them quick. We've got top goal scorer. We've got manager of the year. We've got best transfer, and then the biggest transfer flop of the summer.
All right. You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. Top goal scorer, obviously Erling Haaland. It's going to happen. He's going to be healthy. He's got talented players feeding him the ball. He's going to get top scorer, in my opinion.
Yep. I kind of alluded to it. I said that Jokeris and Haaland would be going back and forth, but Haaland wins it.
Okay. Manager of the year. I mean, I have to say Pep because City win the league.
Yeah, well, I have to say Mikel Arteta because Arsenal won the league.
Okay. Makes sense. Best transfer?
Yeah, let's do best transfer.
Okay.
So I've gone for the man that you said. You actually didn't name his name, but you said whoever replaces Alanga. That man is Dan Ndoye, Norwegian winger. He is going to be incredible for Nottingham Forest. He will easily take up Alanga's mantle and probably be better than him, in my opinion. So they've just kind of traded Scandinavian wingers. I love Dan Ndoye. I think that he's my best transfer of the year.
Wow, that's really surprising for a team that you said was going to be bottom half.
I had him at 10th. Right at mid-table.
Still. My best transfer. I haven't really thought about this. Best transfer. God, I'm gonna say João Pedro. I think that guy lights up. We've already seen it this summer. I think he's gonna combine really well Palmer and the other Chelsea players, and I think he's gonna score a bunch of goals. Now, transfer flop. Let's finish off with that.
So you're not going to like this. But I've gone for Hugo Ekitike. I do like him, but I'm calling it a flop because I think that you guys will sign Isak, and your $75 million striker is not going to play.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I am a Liverpool fan. I honestly agree with you. I don't know why we signed him. Doesn't make sense. If we wanted Isak the whole time, why would you go spend that much on a striker when you could go buy someone for much cheaper like Benjamin Sesko? Or honestly anybody else. I would have rather kept Darwin Núñez than pay that much money for another striker if we do go on and get Isak. But so yeah, I agree with you. In my opinion, I think it's going to be Gyökeres.
Oh no!
I kind of mentioned that already. So I don't know, dude. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to score some goals, but I don't think he's going to be as prolific as a Holland. I think Holland's just built different. So that's my prediction. Those are our predictions for standings, all that good stuff. So guys, thank you for tuning in to our first video. We're going to try to get better at like editing and getting all these specific details about our videos better. But hopefully the quality and the information was good and informative, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment below what you think your top 20 or top 4, top 5 are going to be, and let us know your opinions, okay? And don't forget to subscribe, okay?